My glasses, I can't see. Alright, so then we're going over here. Okay, so oh, the elastic. What size without? Oh, actually,
we did 3/8 inch.
3/8 for the elastic. Yeah, they were running out of elastics too. This one lady that we were talking to, she had to ask the associate to get some because they were in a box. There was like no elastics. Okay, so what we did was Jeremy made a little thing how he was going to do it. The fabric was, what was the size again? I have it on Instagram.
18 by 21.
18 by 21. This is what he just did to do a rough, and that's how he decided to place the 6 by 9 to get, we got 7, right, Jeremy?
Yes.
Well, 7 and 7, and that's how we're doing our double, and the elastics are, what's?
7 inches long.
7 inches long, and you did how many elastics, Jeremy?
14.
14 elastics.
2 per mask.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is basically the same thing as we did on that other one. And the elastics, how they're shown in that video that I referenced to at the beginning, they're kind of diagonal here. Let me get my pins. They're kind of diagonal. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it like this. It's a little finicky, this part, but you can still do it. A little finicky. Because you want to make sure it's at the corner and you actually stitch it so it doesn't actually come out when you put it around your face or around your ears or whatever. And you have to do that on both sides, and you do it on the smaller edge. You see how this is a rectangle? Do it on the smaller edge, which is going to be the 6 inches. I don't need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to also place that diagonal, and then we're going to also go like this. And I mean, there's so many different ways to do these masks, I think. I'm not sure. But we're just doing it this way. And I had envisioned doing it this way after seeing how some of the masks are made. Like the actual looking on the mask and then getting a template in my mind how to do it. Okay. This is probably the easiest way. And then what you do is, I've seen actual like kind of a binding around it. There's different ways, but I didn't want to spend too much time on this. But at the same time, I wanted to have something for my family. Okay. So, oh, what am I doing?
I was going to say you need the top layer, don't you?
Yeah. Top layer, thank you. Okay. And if you're a beginner sewer, you can definitely do this. Just pin. And just make sure you don't, like when you pin it, make sure it's pinned so that when you're sewing it's like this and not the bobble around. For beginners quilter, the longer size pins probably would be better, because that way the shorter ones you can sometimes get you can get the ball part of it stuck on your needle or whatever. You don't want to do that. But so you can just go like this. Is that going to be too big? No, that should work. Okay. It does make it a little awkward, the elastic portion of it. Just try to work with it. Just be patient. Because you want to make sure you actually connect with the... You want to make sure you're connecting the elastic, because if it falls short, you're going to have to take out your stitch and redo it. So just double check it, because you don't want to do all that sewing and then have to rip it out. So just kind of double check that you're getting it secure. Okay. So it should be good. Secure here. Secure, secure. Okay. Now the reason why I'm doing it, it doesn't, like, it really doesn't matter which way you sew it since it's double-sided, as long as you have the right sides together. The reason why I'm doing it that way is because I have the lighter thread on top for my owls and the dog paws, the black bobbin. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Which means I should have put my pins the opposite way instead of the other way, but whatever.
Oh, this is going to be on the inside anyways, so.
Okay, so if you want to pin it more to feel more secure, you can. So then what we're going to do is leave about 2 inches open. I mean, you can leave a little more because it's just getting top stitched over. You can do that. All right. And then if you want to, just pin it so that your fabric doesn't roll or move. It's up to you. It's pretty much decently a straight stitch around. So there we go. If you feel better so your fabric doesn't move, but it's pretty much secure. I'm gonna make sure I don't drop any pins. Oh, let me put mine. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off where I have that 2-inch opening. Okay. I'll make it the width of the foot. Okay. The width of the foot. And then I'll just sit here and I'll also back stitch to secure it. And then keep going. That pin should have been pinned on the top. Not the other way, not that way. Okay. All right. I keep forgetting I do the owl part first. I think that is gonna, hang on a sec, that's not gonna, that was gonna get some of that, of the elastic there, the way it was. So we're going to put it down in the corner, and we'll just put that down. There we go. And you want to make sure that your elastic is going like this and not up here. You want to make sure it's like that. Make sure your elastic is going correctly. It is. Okay. There we go. And then there we go. The foot is a great guide for this. It really is, having it on the edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just for the function of it all. Sewing part's just a bonus. If it's, you can just do however you want to do. Maybe if you want to hand sew it, if you want to take the time, you can hand sew. If you don't have a sewing machine. And just do long stitches. I just secured that more. Okay. Why is my thread doing that? Something got caught somehow. Wow. What?
Because you did a partial stitch.
There it is. Am I running it? No, that black is pretty full, right?
Well, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and let's see, maybe we could do it on here. Well, I need to use the, I'll just go ahead and go to the, I need to press it anyways. All right. So you get quite a bit out of one little piece of quilt fabric. All right, so remember to don't snip too close. Just kind of snip it so that it allows you to turn it and make your corners when you turn it inside out. I mean, turn it right side. Okay. All my tiny little pieces. All right, so now we're just gonna go ahead. I have a bunch of scissors all around here. Flipping it inside out can get a little finicky, but just work it. You can just work it. All right. There we go. Okay. I just kind of roll because you want it, when you iron it, you kind of want it to be somewhat decent. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just going on your face. If it was a tote bag and I wanted perfection. All right. So you see the importance of having your elastic secure. You want that security so it doesn't pop out of your fabric. Okay, that's why you want to make sure that you get it. When you're sewing it, you really catch it in the corner. All right, so that already makes a little seam for you. That's where a 2-inch opening was. And you just kind of do that, roll it a little, and that helps you see how you kind of see the thread there? I kind of just roll it so you can get it so that when you top stitch, it doesn't eat up all the fabric, and it can kind of get, top stitching can get to kind of where the thread is. And it makes it easier to keep it flat so you don't see the other fabric on the other side. I mean, it happens, you can see it on the other side. My iron needs to warm up again. It turns off automatically. If my pressing doesn't look fabulous, it's because my iron keeps turning off. I don't feel like waiting for it to be heated. It's on cotton. There it is. There it is. That's what I want to hear. The steam helps kind of get the creases out of the cotton. That's what I wanted to hear. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do my top stitch again, and then I'll do my pleat like I did last time. Okay. And normally if the elastic wasn't in there, to give you an idea of when you cut the edge, it'll just, if the elastic wasn't there, your corner just would be a little better. But right now the elastic's diagonal in there, so it kind of gives it a diagonal effect. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to top stitch. I'm probably going to top stitch it the width of the foot this time, because when you pleat it, it kind of takes up a little bit of fabric. So you can top stitch however you want. Actually, I'm going to keep it the width, yeah, because if I do that, I'm going to keep it the width again. I just go like this. There we go. Okay. So then all I'm going to do is just go around. Use that as a guide. Keep going around. Okay. Okay. Let's go. The elastic gets a little bulky around the machine there. That's okay. As long as you don't catch your elastic when you're sewing. I think you just have to pick it out. Trying to match up the seam because I'm going to back stitch to secure it. There we go. That should be secure enough. There, see? There you go. Your seam's pretty decent on it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it just kind of goes around. Okay. And then just clip the end. Oops. There we go. I think that's all. Well, let me get that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is do our center again. Okay, let's pin it. Okay, there we go. Make it pretty much the same. For your pleat. Okay, and it's going this way. For your pleat. There we go. There's your pleat. You can press your pleat if you want. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, it goes that way, right, Jeremy?
Uh-huh.
There we go. You could press that pleat if you want to define the pleat in your mask. You can just go ahead and press it. I'll show you. I didn't do that to the first one because it's not something that's required because it's just going to fan out later. But if you want to, you can go to your iron and you can go ahead and kind of just press your pleats. And it might be easier for the beginner sewer to actually sew it if it's actually a lot flatter, the pleats. Because it gives it more of a secureness to the sewing part of it if you're a beginner. So that's another way you can do it too. So we're going to go ahead, and it doesn't matter where you start really, just go ahead and try to follow through on the actual stitch that you're doing. Okay. And then just go ahead and start sewing. And your tension can be whatever you want. Mine's at 3.5, 2.4. I can change that. Top stitching, I'm not really too concerned about. Sometimes it's easier to get the pin out before you sew because it's a little bulkier about here. Gets a little bulkier on the pleat. Pleats get a little bulkier. So your sewing may end up taking a little turn when you're on your pleats. That's okay. And I'm just sewing over top, securing it a little more. Matching my sewing from previously. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. It'll take a little longer, but you can definitely hand sew this. And if you have issues with your pleats at all, you can actually tack it down before you actually sew it. If you're having issues with it staying on the sewing machine, even after you pin it. Okay. There we go. Anyone chatting? No.
There were a few viewers.
Okay. And see, this one compared to this one I didn't iron down the pleats, but it still shows the pleats are there. This one I ironed down the pleats. Okay, and there you go. There's your double-sided. Okay. So there's 2. And if I wanted to, I can go ahead and iron that down or just leave it like that. That's how it looks like when one is iron and one is not. Still functions the same. That's 2. Okay. So now, on to the next one. Pretty much get an idea of how to make it. All right. So this is going to be the top. All right. Again, leave it on the corner. Again, my pins. She's all snuggled.
Look at the puppy.
You didn't get the side of the fridge, did you?
No.
Okay. Nothing's. Okay. Just worried this. That's why I moved stuff from the fridge on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because of that. Okay. Nothing.
No.
Huh? Oh, do you? Okay, you didn't get this out of